first matchup.
Go ACC! Go ACC! Go ACC! Go Uni!
Fans have flocked to uptown Charlotte from the Virginias. Record-setting running back Avon Coburn leads the nation's #2 rushing offense against quarterback Matt Schaub, the ACC Player of the Year. Capital One Bowl week continues on ESPN2 with a battle of 13th ranked West Virginia and Virginia in the inaugural Continental Tire Bowl. Kickoff coming up, but first we step away in Charlotte, North Carolina. Today, the inaugural Continental Tire Bowl, matching the Virginia Cavaliers and the 13th ranked West Virginia Mountaineers. Hi, everybody. Wayne Larrabee along with Randy Wright. Joining us on the sidelines, Mike Gleason. Now, when you run the football as often and as well as West Virginia does, well, it's never just one guy. And in this case, it's a trio.
Well, Avon Coburn gets the lion's share of the carries and the yards. But Quincy Wilson will spell him, get his 15 carries, and Rasheed Marshall, a much better runner than thrower. These three guys have combined for over 3,000 yards on the ground this year.
Well, Randy, Al Groh has brought a pro style of offense to the Virginia Cavaliers. He's got a real versatile true freshman running back in Wally Lundy, who not only leads the team in rushing, but he's also the second leading receiver.
Well, a very balanced attack, almost 50-50 run to throw. And with this kind of balance, you force a defense to play honest. And when a defense has to play honest, play both the run and the throw, it makes it that much harder to stop either one of them.
There's Al Groh in his second season as head coach at UVA, the ACC Coach of the Year. And Rich Rodriguez, a Mountaineer alumnus, second season as the head coach at West Virginia. And what a turnaround they have made. Beautiful afternoon, 43 degrees, winds are calm, with 49% humidity here. Virginia will receive to start the proceedings. They are in the white uniforms, and of course the Cavaliers in the dark blue, navy blue uniforms. Todd James has it on the tee, set to go for West Virginia. This game has been sold out for the better part of 2 weeks. And boy, has it been fun here in Charlotte this week. Here's the kickoff by James. Good leverage and distance. And from the 1-yard line, Marcus Weeks. Not much there. Gets back to the 15. A 14-yard return. Matt Schaub gets the start at quarterback. And he is the ACC Offensive Player of the Year. Set 9 single-season school records this year. His tight end Heath Miller, freshman All-America, set the ACC tight end touchdown receiving record with 9 this season.
At the 13-yard line.
Single back offense to start. Mike McGrew, the man in motion. Nice run and throw. Heath Miller, first down, and a whole lot more out near the 35-yard line on a gain of 22 yards. On the offensive line, Elton Brown, the Big E, 6'6", 324, the indispensable part of this unit.
David Upchurch leads a veteran defensive line that consists of all seniors.
David Upchurch, there he is. They call him the War Daddy on that West Virginia front line. Lundy, nice hesitation move in the backfield. Gets out across the 35 to the 39-yard line. Angel Estrada made the stop. In the linebacking core, Grant Wiley leads the Mountaineers in tackles of 129.
Angel Estrada plays the safety position more like a linebacker and is much more involved in the running game than he is in the passing game.
Here's a look at Angel Estrada playing his final game for West Virginia. Second down. Job, good protection. Looking to make a play and throws it away. Last second pressure coming from the outside linebacker James Dirty Davis. And Schaub did the wise thing.
Boy, it was excellent protection by this Virginia offensive line as Schaub had all time to throw, but there was nobody open. You see the backs get involved in the pass pattern, but with good coverage behind them, Schaub sees that, wisely throws the ball out of bounds.
So it's third down. Cavaliers about 40% on third downs. A look at the numbers by Schaub, leading the ACC in completion percentage and touchdowns. He's got the first down here. McGrew on the reception. Wrapped up by Lance Frazier. Angel Estrada also in the neighborhood. 1st and 10 for Virginia on the opening drive of the game.
One of the reasons, Wayne, you see Matt Schaub there, why he's completing 68% of his passes. They don't throw the ball deep very often. It's a very ball control kind of passing game.
A lot of quick hitters, pass rush that nullifies the pass rush factor.
And that their receivers run with the ball after they catch it.
Lundy straight up the middle, just one of those attitude runs. Got about a yard into the mid portion of the West Virginia defense, one of the most improved run defenses in the country this season.
Wally Lundy, a big back, 6'1", 212 pounds, just a true freshman. He was all-state wide receiver as a junior in high school, all-state running back as a senior. So now you know why he's so involved and capable in both the running game and passing game.
Second down, almost 10. The quick toss to the flank. McMullen gets a nice block. Well-designed play. McMullen stopped short of the 45-yard line. Well, on that offensive line, we mentioned Elton Brown and Mike Gleason. He almost didn't make it this far in his football career, did he?
Mentioned 6'6", 325 being indispensable. When he was a freshman in high school, he quit football one day, went home looking for some sympathy. He told his mom he quit, and she said, "Why did you quit?" He said, "They were hitting too hard." She said, "You turn around, get back out there, you hit them harder, or I'm going to hit you." Well, he turned around, went back to the practice field the same day he quit. He was back on the team, and now Matt Schaub can't play without him.
You know, you got to like tough love, don't you? I believe that's Billy McMullen, who is injured. He caught the pass a moment ago, and he's the all-ACC wide receiver. And that would be a huge loss for the
left arm that he was holding as he left the field.
Third down, 7th play of the drive. Very close to the first down here. And we'll check it.
Take a look here back to the last play where McMullen is hurt. You can see he gets piled on. He lays on the ground and immediately will grab for his left arm, and that's where the injury appears to have occurred.
Lundy short of the first down, and Tom Hagan coming on in punt formation now for the Virginia Cavaliers.
Wayne, back to Billy McMullen. He's their #1 receiver. Jason Snelling, their fullback, was their #3 receiver. He's out for the game. Schaub could be without his 1st and 3rd top receivers.
Lance Frazier, fair catch, and West Virginia's high-powered rushing attack on the field for the first time this afternoon. 27-yard punt, no return, but West Virginia will start this drive back inside their 20. Quarterback Rasheed Marshall, a true threat as a runner. 8 times he's rushed for 40 or more yards in a game. His favorite receiver of late. He's been going downfield to Philip Braxton with the injury to McQuell Henderson, who has been out the last couple of games due to a high ankle sprain. They'll run out of the shotgun, no question. Wilson, Quincy Wilson to the outside. Gain of about 8 yards. Willie Davis made the tackle. On the offensive line, the left tackle Lance Nemo, first team all Big East.
Brendan Schmidt leads this defensive line with 80 tackles, and he's just one of 4 freshmen that'll play in that line today.
Pickup of 9 on the previous play. They go without a huddle. Avon Coburn, first down to the 32-yard line. The linebacking core is liable to be busy for Virginia here today. Angelo Crowell, heart and soul, playing on 2 damaged knees.
Safety Jerton Evans is a ferocious hitter and the most experienced Cavalier, making his 44th career start today.
1st and 10 for West Virginia. Coburn picks his way. Not a whole lot there as he was met on the flank by Darrell Blackstock, a true freshman out of Newport News, Virginia. He's a good one. They love him.
And on the tackle, Darrell Blackstock.
Yep.
Earlier we saw Billy McMullen, the wide receiver for Virginia, go down. And Mike Gleason, any word on his status?
Wayne, he's left the field. He's in the locker room. It's actually his elbow. He left with his arm in a sling. The trainer couldn't say whether or not he'd be back, but right now the way he left the stadium grimacing in pain, I would say right now very, very doubtful.
Thank you, Mike. Second down for West Virginia. Marshall, and the pass knocked down by Blackstock, the freshman. Darrell Blackstock has made a huge impact on this defense, Randy. He's a true freshman, but they have him. They're smart about it with him. They don't ask him to do too much. Go after the quarterback.
Well, he really needs to be able to, right here with Blackstock, he's going to come upfield. He's not going to let Marshall beat him to the outside. They're so worried about his running ability. He doesn't care about the handoff. He's staying to the outside and spying the quarterback.
Third down for West Virginia. About 6 yards to go. That's Coburn alongside the quarterback, Rasheed Marshall. Good protection. Threads the needle. Philip Braxton, his favorite receiver, across the 45-yard line to the 46. Armando Muffin Curry on the stop, 10-yard gain.
Nice route, nice catch, nice throw. Phil Braxton has emerged as the go-to guy for Rasheed Marshall. Here you see he only needs to get to the first down marker, gets a yard beyond that, so if he has to come back to the ball, he's got room. Perfectly thrown ball by Marshall.
First and 10. Braxton in motion. They fake the reverse. Coburn slashing off right guard. Gain of almost 9 yards into Virginia territory for the West Virginia Mountaineers.
Wayne, that's where I think West Virginia is going to have their most success running the ball in between the tackles. The outside linebackers for Virginia, so worried about Marshall's ability, they'll play soft. The pressure is going to be on Virginia's inside linebackers to stop the run.
Second and short. Coburn going wide. Got a good block on the flank from Mo Fofana, and gets the first down to the 38-yard line. Angelo Crowell, whose brother is Jermaine Crowell, a record-setting wide receiver of Virginia, made the stop.
Wayne, look, take a look at the block right there by the fullback. He delivers that hit, and that's going to open up the alley for Coburn to see and to be able to pick up that first down. Excellent block by Fofana. Not real active with carrying the ball, only 2 attempts, but a great block.
But in a pro-style offense, fullbacks block first, catch the ball out of the backfield second, and he does the blocking part of it pretty well. First and 10. Marshall calls his number for the first time and gets about 3 yards out of it. Brennan Schmidt, redshirt freshman out of Arlington, made the stop. All underclassmen, Randy, on this defensive line for West Virginia.
Well, not only underclassmen, Wayne, but really freshmen. And you can see they've struggled this year trying to stop the run with those young players giving up over 200 yards a game.
West Virginia on a steady drive. No score, first quarter. Marshall. Overshot. A.J. Nastasi purposely just threw it away. Rich Bettison with some pass rush pressure that flushed the quarterback.
You really don't have a lot of pressure initially. Marshall can move laterally without anybody in his face until the very end. Once he got close to the sideline, he had to make a decision, and that's where the pressure came.
Those linebackers always give you a little love tap at the end, don't they, and something like that?
Well, you guys call it a love tap. As a former quarterback, we call it something else.
Yeah. This is family TV now.
This is where Marshall becomes so dangerous. 3rd and 7, down in positive territory with his ability to run.
In a spread offense, this is a called quarterback draw. First down inside the 25 to the Virginia 22-yard line. And there you see the X factor that is Rasheed Marshall. 13-yard gain.
3rd and 7, you're thinking pass. There's nobody here in the middle. This is a called quarterback draw. He lets the defensive line get up, and now when he breaks through that line, there's nobody there other than his blockers downfield.
And Randy, they love to do that out of a 4 or 5 receiver set spreading the field. Coburn inside the 20, down near the 19-yard line. Capital One Bowl week continues tonight on ESPN, 8 Eastern. Two of the top running backs of the nation lead their teams. 10th annual Alamo Bowl presented by MasterCard. Chris Brown of the 14th ranked Colorado Buffaloes meet Anthony Davis and the Wisconsin Badgers at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. Top rushers in the nation. Chris Brown, now healthy, will compete in that ball game here tonight. He missed the last week or two of the regular season. Second down for West Virginia. On the steady drive, Avon Coburn with room inside the Virginia 10-yard line. Willie Davis upends it on the play, 11 yards downfield. First and goal for West Virginia at the Virginia 9.
Wayne, sometimes you gain an advantage simply by your formation. What West Virginia did by formation, they outnumbered the Virginia defense to the left side, and you can see there's just no blue jerseys over by the line of scrimmage.
Quincy Wilson is the lone setback behind Marshall, and Wilson gets the call and slips just short of the 10-yard line. So a loss of about a yard.
Pretty well defensed that time by Cherton Evans and Crowell and Bettison, the linebackers. You see Evans right there, fights off the block. Just no place really for Wilson to run. Very well defensed.
First legitimate scoring threat of the game. West Virginia, 14th play of this drive. It began back inside the Mountaineer 20. Marshall on the run. Gets a good seal off the edge and can't win the race to the corner. Cavaliers strung it out very well. It's a gain of 5 down to the 5-yard line. Good pursuit by the Virginia defense. Bettison and Crowell really flew to the football that time.
They've got excellent speed. West Virginia trying to gain numbers. They've got Fofana in front of him. You see Wilson out there to block. This is a designed quarterback sweep. It looks like West Virginia runs a one-back offense, but because of Marshall's ability to run the ball, they really have a two-back running game.
3 receivers, bottom of your screen. Everybody else is tight out of the shotgun. Marshall looking the end zone. Knocked down beautifully. Well defense. They're trying to thread the needle to Braxton. And the man who knocked it out, Jermaine Winborn. Outstanding performance by Winborn on that play.
Jermaine Winborn, the only defensive back to start all 13 games this year. The most improved player on the team and the best cover guy.
It is 4th down and goal to go at the 5. This early in the ball game, looks like the Mountaineers are going to go for it. No, they're going to send down the field goal unit late.
Got to get points on the board, especially early. And when you look at the fact that West Virginia has struggled the last couple of plays, no reason to think they're going to get 5 yards on 4th down.
Todd James will kick it. George Shell, the holder. It'll be a 22-yard field goal attempt. Delay a game against the Mountaineers. Late decision leading to that.
Not necessarily a bad thing, though. It does improve the angle a little bit with the ball on the right hash mark, backing him up 5 yards. Not the worst thing.
Yep, not at all. 27-yard field goal attempt for the first points of the game. And he's got it through the uprights. West Virginia score in the history of this game. Good leverage into this kick. Wally Lundy. When he catches a seam out across the 35 and dragged down across the 40-yard line. Angel Estrada, 36-yard return by Lundy. Well, the leading quarterback in the ACC, the player of the year in the ACC, steps back on the field to lead the Virginia Cavaliers, who play from behind. Line for Matt Schaub and the Virginia Cavaliers. Heath Miller wide open in the heart of the defense, deep into the secondary to the 31-yard line of West Virginia. 26-yard pass play.
Well, Matt Schaub is going to have to start looking for his big tight end. He's going to be right over here and he's just going to release. Schaub rolls to his right. They don't even release a receiver to the right, but his movement draws the defense. Heath Miller wide open.
Redshirt freshman out of Swords Creek, Virginia. As Matt Schaub is pumped up. He'll go to that tight end early and often. on first down. Lundy and an escort, but it's well defensed by West Virginia. The man who popped through initially on the play was Brian King to blow that up. We are at Erickson Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. Number 13, West Virginia against Virginia, along with Mike Gleason and Randy Wright. This is Wayne Larrabee. Wonderful to have you with us. The Bowl Challenge Cup, Big East off to a very good start. Obviously the Big 12 as well. And the Big 10 gets into action tonight with the Wisconsin Badgers down to the Alamo Dome.
We promoted that game a little earlier. Boy, what two physical teams you'll see tonight with Wisconsin and Colorado.
Second down. Shaw wants Lundy. Lundy was late in turning, and as he makes the catch, Angel Estrada makes the tackle to the 25-yard line. Gain of about 4.
Nice job by Matt Schaub to drift to his left. All the pressure was coming from his right from the West Virginia defense. He knew where his receivers were, especially his outlet in Lundy. Schaub bought a little extra time by moving to his left. Wayne, it's so important that whenever Virginia gets down close to the goal line, they get points. West Virginia looks to be able to hold the ball with their running offense. Virginia won't get that many opportunities, so they need to capitalize.
Shaw without his second, first, and third leading receivers on an option. A late pitch. Here comes Wally Lundy. Got the first down to the 15-yard line. Good execution on the option there. 10-yard gain. Lance Frazier in from the secondary to make the stop on the true freshman Wally Lundy.
This is one of the plays you put in when you've got a long time. Here, they're going to run the option this way, and the back's going to come to the outside. Schaub does a nice job of holding on to the ball and making the defensive backs commit. And there's so much room, Lundy's got the speed to beat to the outside. When you've got 5 weeks to prepare it, you add some new wrinkles.
Out of the shotgun on first down. Quick toss into the flat, and that's an incomplete pass. Michael Johnson, another true freshman in the offensive backfield, a speedster, couldn't quite rein it in.
Now, Michael Johnson is one of the guys that can change the game because of his speed. He's got real breakaway speed, a little smaller than Lundy, only 5'10", but Al Groh just creates ways to get the backs involved in the passing game.
He really does, and that's, of course, the signature of a pro-styled offense. Your fullback's going to catch 30-some passes. Your tailback's going to catch at least that many, maybe more.
And your quarterback has to know that those guys have got to be involved for the passing game to be effective.
Marcus Hagans, number 18, the backup quarterback, in motion. They go that way to Hagans. He steps back, throws it to the other side. Lundy for the touchdown. They lateraled to the backup quarterback. Marcus Hagans, Wally Lundy slipped out of the backfield undetected into the right corner of the end zone.
Well, one of the things that Todd Graham, the defensive coordinator for West Virginia, told us yesterday, my guys have got to be aware of the trick plays. Virginia creates these things, they pick the times to run them, and they execute them very well, and his team must have forgotten that point because that was a very well executed play.
Connor Hughes for the point after. And the kick is good. Earlier this season, Virginia worked a play similar to this that had the quarterback. That's Schaub on the other end of it. Schaub with the lateral. Hagans steps back and steps up to the end zone. Wally Lundy and Virginia into the lead.
He's going to come up fake like he blocks and then releases, and that's what fools the defense. He actually goes down to his knees right there, attempting to throw a bad block, and that's why he's wide open. Hagans comes across in motion, and as you said, the backup quarterback, he's used to being able to throw that. Excellent decoy by Lundy.
Indeed. Kurt Smith kicking off. Twin safeties back deep for West Virginia. Good leverage once again, and it's Lance Frazier. Frazier catches a seam as a penalty marker flies. The first penalty of the ball game coming up. And some extracurriculars. Another flag flies very late.
Penalty marker on the field.
Frazier out across the 30-yard line, pending the outcome of the flag. It's a hold against West Virginia.
West Virginia tries to play the game of field position. It's more important.
Holding on the receiving team. 10 yards to the spot of the foul. First down.
I mean, And it's more important in the West Virginia offense to have good field position because they don't have the ability to make the big plays as quickly as the Virginia does. These kinds of penalties on special teams really hurt this team.
Rich Rodriguez pacing the sidelines for West Virginia. 20 yards on the kickoff return. The nation's 13th ranked team, #2 rushing team in college football. The West Virginia Mountaineers trailing in the early going. Rasheed Marshall on first down to Avon Coburn. Coburn trying to follow Lance Nemo, but the fired up Cavaliers stack it up. Angelo Crowell led the way along with Kwaku Robinson. Monday Capital One Bowl week continues with 2 games on ESPN. The day begins with College Game Day Bowl special presented by Outback at 1:30. Then 2 Eastern, the SEC West champion Arkansas Razorbacks, led by quarterback Matt Jones, meet Assad Abdul-Khalik and the Minnesota Golden Gophers in the Gaylord Hotel's Music City Bowl. And at 5:30, Calvin Pace, Wake Forest Demon Deacons defense look to stop Ontario Smith and the tough Oregon offense in the 2nd annual Seattle Bowl. Quick toss to the flank here. A.J. Nastasi, who missed some time this season, about 7 games with a high ankle sprain, makes the reception. Jerton Evans on the stop.
Well, it's good to see Nastasi back into this offense. You mentioned he missed a lot of games this year. He's only had 3 receptions all year. He was their leader last year with 42, so you could see how much they've missed him.
3rd down. Marshall. Going deep. Braxton's out there, has to come back for it. Makes the catch as a penalty marker flies. Inside the 35 near the 30-yard line of Virginia. Willie Davis, I believe, will get called for pass interference. 43-yard pass play.
It was a good attempt by Davis to try and tackle Braxton and keep him from catching the ball, but a nice job of concentrating by Braxton.
Pass interference on the defense. The penalty is refused. Will take the result of the play. 1st down.
If Rasheed Marshall could have put just a little bit more on this ball, this would have been a clear touchdown. Not a lot of pressure initially, and Marshall holds the ball until Braxton gets way behind the coverage, and you could see Braxton had to come back and almost feel that like a punt.
And Randy, is this a product of blown coverage? Was the cornerback expecting safety help over the top and didn't get it?
The defensive backs are so worried about Rasheed Marshall running the ball that they're letting these receivers run by them.
Substitution infraction on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 1st down.
So they've had a delay of game and a substitution infraction on West Virginia. It'll be 1st and 15. And
you take a look right there coming on, and once you pass the numbers right there, you've got to stay in the field to play.
Yep. Well, everybody's a little excited for the bowl game, you know. The kids.
West Virginia's not used to getting that kind of yardage in the passing game.
Exactly.
They were kind of shook.
More so than Virginia, maybe. Coburn. Trying to cut it back inside. Tough sledding. Down about 3 yards down to the 32-yard line.
Wayne, I think what West Virginia has done is they focused on running in between their tackles. As this 1st quarter is winding down, Virginia is starting to be aware of that a little bit more. They're starting to bring those defensive ends and outside linebackers down a little bit, and now is where I think you'll start to see Marshall try to get to the outside.
Marshall calling the play at the line. They have 3 styles of offense, or 3 speeds, I should say, of offense. This is more of a regular offensive speed for West Virginia. On the reverse, Philip Braxton. Well-designed play inside the 25-yard line of Virginia. Angelo Crowell and Armando Curry respond. Gain of 9, leaving a 3rd and makeable, about 3 yards to go.
Lance Nemo, the left tackle, acts as though he's coming down to block, and then he pulls to the outside. Marshall, after the handout, comes out and blocks, and really what you got is a 2-man sweep.
And he kind of slowed up Daryl Blackstock to the quarterback and didn't get himself hurt in the process, which is good.
When you're a quarterback, first thing is don't get hurt. Second thing is just getting away.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he did. 3rd down, about 3. Marshall perhaps changing the play at the line. The fake to Coburn. Marshall just inside the 20 for the first down. Shedard Newby and Merrill Robertson on the stop. 1st and 10. Now there's the young man, Darrell Blackstock, the true freshman. Mike Gleason, what do you have on him? This kid has come a long way personally to make it to this football field today. That's right, Wayne. He had 50 sacks in 2 years in high school, but he called himself a thug. Now his coaches say that might be a stretch, but he got into shouting matches. He skipped classes, so he went to Fork Union Military Academy. And we'll finish the story right after the play, Wayne. Quincy Wilson forced out of bounds inside the 15. Mike? He got all A's and B's at Fork Union. He went from private to lieutenant, and he had 22 sacks. His coach, John Schumann, said that he and Dexter Coakley were two of the best players to ever play there. Well, he wore number 11. Al Groh, who coached Lawrence Taylor at North Carolina and with the Giants, convinced him to try number 56. He said linebackers don't wear number 11. Now, he's not saying he's the next Lawrence Taylor, but 56 is a pretty good number for a linebacker to try to live up to, Wayne. Now you take a look at the Hampton, Virginia Beach area and the names who have come out of there in sports. Blackstock had an interesting point. He said, I went to school in high school. I was a luncher. I went to eat lunch, and that was about all I did there. Coburn trying to cut it back. Boy, they had a nice hole initially, Randy. They do get the first down, but it looked like for a moment they'd get a touchdown. Newby and Robertson close the gap, and it's going to be 1st and goal just outside the 5 for West Virginia.
Coburn accelerates so well. Here it looks like he's going to the outside, but then he cuts it back because that's where the hole is. Excellent vision, excellent acceleration to pick up that many yards this close to the goal line. They mark it at the 6, 1st and goal. Coburn picking his way to the outside. Tackle missed by Jerton Evans. Avon Coburn into the end zone. 6-yard touchdown run, and West Virginia back on top. A vintage Avon Coburn run. This time designed to go inside. Nothing there. Uses that quickness to get to the outside. Sometimes your line gets you to the goal line. Sometimes you got to do it on your own. Coburn did it on his own there. Todd James for the point after touchdown. A lot of success with that because he's pretty good. Todd James with the kickoff. Marcus Weeks. Out across the 25, brought down just short of the 30-yard line. Well, last night in uptown Charlotte, many of the fans of the two schools came out for a pep rally. That's Matt Schaub leading the Cavalier fans, the ACC Player of the Year, and West Virginia Mountaineers represented by a linebacker, James Davis. Oh, they had a lot of fun downtown last night. They closed off several of the streets of the inner city, and just a great time. Well, the pep rally was supposed to start at 5 o'clock, and there were so many people down there early and pushing forward. They had to start early, and the city's just been crazy with excitement. 1st and 10 to the 30-yard line. They reverse it. Johnson, Michael Johnson with good speed and staying home on the flank of that play and making the tackle. Lance Frazier, he prevented a huge gain. Larrabee, and it's 2nd down and 3 here for UVA. Wally Lundy trying to get to the edge. No. Pass back. Flea Flicker. Schaub going deep down the middle, and it's well covered. Did not fool the secondary of West Virginia. Schaub trying to get it to his roommate Ryan Sawyer. Jermaine Adai and Brian King had the coverage. Yeah, you're exactly right, Wayne. West Virginia was not fooled at all. Sawyer came straight across on a deep post route, but good coverage. Al Groh told us yesterday that he wants his team to have a high run and completion total. Numbers of runs and numbers of completions. If that equals 60, he thinks his team will win. First quarter, they had 6 rushes and only 6 completions. 3rd down. Schaub releases Lundy, 1st down. Well done. Good execution. Pickup of about 5 yards across the 40-yard line. And again, we should tell you that the leading receiver, Billy McMullen, the all-ACC receiver, went out of this ball game early after the first completion on the first drive of the game, suffered an elbow injury, not known if he'll be back. So, with the injury prior to this game of Jason Snelling, the fullback, who is the 3rd leading receiver, coupled with McMullen, the leading receiver, Matt Schaub is operating today without 2 of his top 3 receivers. He's going to have to go more to Lundy, who's caught 53 balls coming into today, and his tight end Heath Miller. On 1st down.
To the outside, Brandon Isaiah pulled back to the studio in Chris Fowler.
Well, Wayne, the best game of bowl week so far last night. Kansas State has to rally from behind against pesky Arizona State. Late in the fourth quarter, Al Roberson on the slant to Derek Evans. They had dodged the huge upset. We have full highlights at halftime.
I'll tell you something. Dirk Cutter had Arizona State ready, didn't he?
Oh, he had them ready, and they played an outstanding game. Some people may look at that and say Kansas State didn't play very well. I think it was Arizona State playing very well.
Played lights out. Schaub got 9 on the previous play, 2nd and short. There's the long throw to the sideline, and Ryan Sawyer, who has replaced Billy McMullen, makes the reception. Lance Frazier the coverage on the far side, and it's a first down to the 42-yard line of West Virginia.
Nice job by Schaub recognizing the soft coverage. If you have to look way over to the right where everybody is packed into the middle here, one-on-one coverage, soft cushion well to the right, and Sawyer could make that catch easily in front of Frazier.
Virginia now trailing by 3 on a steady drive into West Virginia territory. 2 tight ends on the line, the offset eye in the backfield. Familiar pro look. McGrew in motion. They fake the reverse. It is Lundy inside the 40 and out of bounds near the 35-yard line. Gain of 7 yards on the play. Well, a lot of misdirection, both of these teams here today.
Well, both these teams have excellent defensive speed, mostly with West Virginia because they have smaller players on the field, and the smaller players you would think would be quicker. They also have them, as there you see McMullen with his arm in the sling. You mentioned earlier, Wayne, he got hurt. It does not look like he has a chance of coming back in. West Virginia is thinking trick plays. Virginia now has tried to run 3 of them.
2nd down. Miller, the tight end, in motion. Here's Schaub being flushed by David Upchurch. Schaub on the run, lets it go and throws it away. So Matt Schaub, a veteran quarterback that he is, junior out of Westchester, Pennsylvania, did the right thing there. Came in completing 68.7% of his passes. My goodness, 3rd nationally in completion percentage.
When you combine that with the fact he's had 27 touchdown passes and only 7 interceptions, what an outstanding year.
Well, those are Randy Wright kind of numbers, I would say.
Yeah, if Randy Wright had those kind of numbers, I wouldn't be here today. I'd be playing tomorrow.
Well, we're glad you didn't have those kind of numbers. 7 of 11, 79 yards for Schaub. They empty the backfield on 3rd down. And Schaub calls his own number. Nice call here. Inside the 25, down near the 20-yard line. You do not expect Virginia necessarily to make that call, but Schaub is no slouch with his feet.
Well, when we asked him yesterday to rate what he thought his best skills were, he put his intelligence first, accuracy, arm strength, and then foot speed was almost an afterthought. But it shows you when you catch a defense by surprise that even somebody without great speed can have success.
Can get 14 yards. My goodness.
3rd downs, both teams very good today.
Ottawa Anderson, the wide receiver, in motion. Wally Lundy going to the boundary side. Made like he was going to throw the football. Then a decisive cut to the sidelines. And Lundy down near the 15-yard line.
Wayne, I do think he wanted to throw the ball. Heath Miller, his tight end, had come down to block and then had come back up into the pass routes, and there was good coverage. Lundy looking to throw. It's not there right away. They tell you if it's not open immediately, it's not going to be open at all. Then tuck the ball and run.
Well, watch some of the hitting here as he makes his turn. Ooh, that was a good pop. Ben Lynch, Adam Lenort in the vicinity. 2nd down. Second down, about 6. Again, Schaub calls his number. Well, you put it in a new wrinkle for a bowl game. He said maybe this is one of those wrinkles Al Groh put in. He and Bill Musgrave, the offensive coordinator. Brian King makes the stop.
Well, when you run a play that works, especially at the college level, you're going to be able to run it more than just once a game because colleges don't adjust as quickly as pros do. They've run that play now twice on the same drive. That defense hasn't had a chance to go over to the sideline and get their adjustment.
On a Sunday, you can run that play once and then maybe not ever again, right?
Absolutely.
Timeout taken on the field. Little over 12 and third downs. Matt Schaub with split backs gets motion from a wide receiver. Wally Lundy gets the first down. Almost got a touchdown out of that. Lance Frazier wrapped him up. Well, it has been an entertaining first half so far. We're early into the second quarter. And Randy, anything you see here that has surprised you?
The number of trick plays Virginia has tried to run. The one worked very well. They've tried a couple others. So this early to run that many, that's been a little surprise.
Yeah, absolutely. But that's something that, again, Rich Rodriguez has told his squad to be aware of. First and goal. Lundy again bouncing to the outside. Good play made on the flank of the defense by the Spurs safety Jermaine Thaxton. Frazier supporting as well from the secondary. Continental Tire Bowl, first annual, Erickson Stadium, Charlotte, North Carolina. Number 13, West Virginia against Virginia. Wayne Larrabee, Randy Wright, Mike Gleason. A packed house, better than 73,000 on hand in this stadium, and they have really enjoyed the week. And what weather we have here today. Crisp and cool, about 43, 45 degrees, supposed to get up to 51 degrees. Second and goal for Virginia, beating to take the lead. Schaub, who's run twice on this drive, gets down to the 1-yard line. Grant Wiley, the linebacker, made the stop.
I don't think this play here was a designed quarterback keeper. Both backs went to the same side like an ISO block, ISO run. Schaub then looks upfield quickly. His receiver's not open right away. You follow your backs into the hole. They're your lead blockers. Nice job by Schaub knowing that and picking up all the way down to the 1-yard line.
Third and goal at the 1. Lundy, the tail of the tandem. It goes to Lundy, and the freshman picks his way, fighting for the goal line, and he is denied. The Mountaineers turn him back. Ernest Hunter and Grant Wiley. Hunter, a redshirt freshman whom they call a special athlete. Suffered a broken leg, missed 7 games earlier this season, but he's back for this ball game. It's 4th down, and Elk Grove going for it.
We talked earlier about the importance of getting points for Virginia when they're inside the 20-yard line, choosing to go for 7 when you've only got half a yard instead of the 3.
Let's see if Schaub takes it on a keeper. Nope. The fake to Lundy. Schaub looking to throw under pressure. Schaub takes it himself. Touchdown. It's not what I had in mind, but the quarterback did score on it.
Well, it was a designed pass play. West Virginia, was not full. And Schaub, again, with just enough quickness and presence of mind to pick the opening and get that ball into the end zone. Not the way Al Grove threw that one up.
No, I don't think so. But it did cap a 70-yard, 15-play march. Connor Hughes for the point after. Right down the boulevard. When it is 4th down and 1, everyone in the house is thinking quarterback sneak perhaps. Little play action. Matt Schaub says, okay, you want the quarterback to score? Here it is. Beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. Yeah, the band's all set to go. Virginia leading 14-10. 70 yards, 15 plays. Matt Schaub, a major factor on that drive on the ground.
His ability through the passing game, though, quarterback draws, so the passing game set up his success on the ground.
Kurt Smith gets his leg into this one. It will not be returnable. Philip Braxton lets it go through.
It's a touchback.
And on the ESPN game track, let's take a look at what happened. Most of this action in the first quarter. Little trick play, razzle-dazzle, the backup quarterback Higgins to Wally Lundy for a 7-3 Virginia lead from 14 yards away. Then Rasheed Marshall, the X factor on the ground for West Virginia, 15-yard run there, helping to set up Avon Coburn for a 6-yard touchdown ramble, and that put West Virginia on top 10-7. And then Virginia recaptures the lead right here. Matt Schaub, play action, looking to pass, takes it himself, a 1-yard touchdown run.
Now, Wayne, both teams doing pretty much what we thought they would do with success. Virginia, the trick plays, the passing game, and West Virginia, success on the ground.
So it's been a seesaw affair in this first half. West Virginia 102 yards rushing already in the ball game, and we expected that. Not a whole lot there as they come running hard with Avon Coburn out of the backfield. Make that Quincy Wilson on the carry. Got a couple of yards. Andrew Hoffman on the stop for Virginia. As we mentioned, a young, all underclassman defensive line. And today, you're talking about two freshmen, a true freshman, a redshirt freshman, and a sophomore on that defensive line to start. Second down. Wilson trying to cut it back, this time not on the flank and driven down. Good coverage and penetration that time. Angelo Crowell made the stop. Capital One Bowl Week continues tonight on ESPN. At 8 Eastern, two of the top running backs in the nation lead their teams in the 10th annual Alamo Bowl presented by MasterCard. That's Chris Brown and Anthony Davis of Wisconsin. Brown of the Buffaloes, Davis of the Badgers at the Alamo Dome, San Antonio, Texas. Couple of great backs.
Boy, they are. They've both been banged up a little bit this year and missed some time, but are both healthy now, and they'll be toting that ball tonight down to San Antonio.
Third down and about 7. West Virginia 4 of 5 on third down conversions. Little screen pass. Wilson didn't have anywhere to go. Armando Curry and then Darrell Blackstock on the flank of the defense, got the job done. He lost a yard.
Virginia is running a 2 deep. These guys are going to go back, and that leaves these guys to come up and stop the shorter passing game. And when you run a screen, you're throwing this right into the teeth of where all those blue jerseys are. And really, there's no place for Wilson to be able to run. Virginia just had a good defense call.
Mark Fazzolari in punt formation gets a low snap. Just did get that kick away. Good-looking kick. Higgins, the backup quarterback, from the 30. His own man tripped him up. Gets by a defender. Now hits the seam hard. It's off to the races. Marcus Higgins, Secretariat at the Belmont. No one will catch him. Touchdown. 70 yards.
Marcus Higgins, as a backup quarterback in a quarter and a half, has had a major impact on this game already. Wonderful return.
He threw his first touchdown pass of his career in the first quarter. He runs one back in the second quarter. They mark it officially at 69 yards, and Connor Hughes puts the finishing touch on that score for Virginia. Marcus Higgins takes it all the way.
Back starts from the 30.
His first punt return touchdown of his career. 69 yards, and Virginia to a big lead. As 13th ranked West Virginia in a hole here in the second quarter. There's nothing like the excitement of the home team call. In this case, the Virginia radio call from Matt McDonald a few moments ago, and we'll hear it coming up following the kickoff. Kurt Smith will boot it away.
Wayne, Al Groh told us yesterday that West Virginia has more developed talent than Virginia. And if both teams play their best game, West Virginia, over the long haul, is going to win more. So they need to help us. We need to get a break. We need something good to help us to balance that out. And they just got it on that special teams play.
They just got something very good on that special teams play. Kurt Smith has it on the tee. Well, this is, again, West Virginia, the #2 rushing team in the nation, but running teams have a harder time coming back in a football game like this, but there's plenty of time in this first half. Good high kick once again. Philip Braxton, good speed, trying to get to the outside and makes the turn. Rope down just short of the 30-yard line. Mark Miller. How about that hometown radio call, the Virginia Radio Network?
Kicks a beauty, and it'll take Higgins back to the 31-yard line. Looks for a block. He slips a little bit, dodges a man at the 35, 40, 45, 50, midfield, 40. He's going to score. 25, 20, 10, 5. Give it to him.
Matt McDonald on the call, the Virginia Radio Network. Just under 8 minutes to go. 69-yard punt return. That's 42 yards longer than his previous best. First down, West Virginia, the 13th ranked Mountaineers. Marshall comes up throwing. Pretty well-designed play. Had Torrey Johnson wide open, off his hands, incomplete.
Oh, it was a well-designed play, and West Virginia had the Cavaliers in the coverage they wanted. A two deep, you bring your tight end right behind the linebackers, and Torrey Johnson had loads of room to run had he been able to hang on to that ball.
I mentioned 3 different speeds of this no-huddle offense for West Virginia. They're in the regular speed right now, and they'll take the play clock down to 5 or 6 seconds here. They have 2 other gears. Marshall straight ahead. Not much there as he went right into the teeth of the Virginia defense. Mike Gleason, Jerton Evans, talk a little bit about him. How do you get that to a unique name?
Well, I'll tell you what, Wayne, that's an interesting story. I'll send it back up in the booth in a second, but he really likes to stay active in the classroom as well as the field. He had 108 tackles this year, but he took 18 credit hours this fall, 17th century poetry and English lit class, 2 German literature translation classes, Spanish and history of women. He majors in English, and he's constantly changing or correcting his teammates' grammar. He has 285 tackles in his career. That's pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah, and he's correcting your grammar at the same time. Trying to hit the seam. Braxton and a diving grab. And a penalty marker down. They're going to score to completion inside the 45 of Virginia. Penalty markers down. Angelo Crowell had coverage, and he had the tackle. And what are they ruling? One official overruled the other. Are they saying incomplete?
I think they're discussing now. It would have been a heck of a catch by Braxton as he went down to try and haul that ball in. The flag went down, though. If it is interference against Virginia, remember, it's only a 15-yard penalty, so West Virginia certainly would rather have it be ruled a catch.
Holding on the defense. Penalty is refused. Take the result of the play. First down.
They scored at a completion. All right, now, Mike, we were talking about Jerton Evans.
Take a look here at what Rasheed Marshall sees. He's got 3 receivers going down the field. It opens up. He throws the ball. What a beautiful catch by Braxton. One hand with his left arm reaching back as he's sliding away. Take a look at this. Just a great catch there by Braxton.
West Virginia right back at it. And penalty markers down here. Premature movement on the offensive line. And Mike Gleason, we meant to wrap up the story on Jerton Evans. That's a unique name. How did he get it?
Well, his mother said at a young age, dare to be different, and she certainly was. His father's name was Jermaine, so you take the first 3 letters, J-E-R. Her name was Tanya. First 3 letters, T-O-N, so it's Jerton. And Jerton said, you know, never in his life has he run into another Jerton.
That's a unique name, you're right.
And, you know, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing either.
No, absolutely.
Well, he's had a heck of a year. He's 3rd on this team with tackles, 108.
1st and 15. Marshall maybe changing the play. 3 wide receivers set. Coburn. Hit initially by Angelo Crowell. That slowed him up. A gain of 2 down to the 45-yard line, where Crowell's teammates came in. Wednesday, join Brad Dessler, Bob Greasy, a battle of the Bayou. SEC champs, 4th-ranked Georgia take on the ACC champion Florida State Seminoles in the Nokia Sugar Bowl, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. ABC Sports Championship Television.
Georgia coming off their first SEC title since 1982.
2nd down, about 13 yards to go.
So far, Virginia doing a nice job of keeping Rasheed Marshall contained.
Marshall on the option. Nothing there on the flank. Boy, Virginia well prepared for everything they're seeing. Coburn had nowhere to go. Jermaine Hardy, the cornerback, came up, and I'm very impressed, Randy, with the perimeter defense we're seeing today from Virginia.
They're playing a lot of this 2 deep, which means your cornerbacks are up by the line of scrimmage, and they're funneling everything into the middle to those inside linebackers. And Crowell, especially, is having a heck of a day.
3rd down and long. 3rd and about 15.
Not the position you want to be in for a team that doesn't throw the ball very well.
and they reverse it. Braxton looking to throw, hit as he throws, and it's intercepted. Blackstock makes the interception. The freshman out to the 50, into West Virginia territory to the 49-yard line. Darrell Blackstock, his first career interception.
Penetration into the offensive backfield will disrupt most any play. Braxton not familiar with throwing the ball very often. If a trick play doesn't work, you got to have the discipline to tuck the ball, take the loss, and punt the ball away. He tries to force something and has created a huge play for the Cavaliers.
And watch Muffin Curry on the pass here by Braxton. Curry all over him. That's the 5'8" cornerback who has 3 sacks this season. First down for Virginia, already leading 21-10. And it's juggled and dropped incomplete. The tight end, Heath Miller, had it in the seam between defenders, but could not hang on near the 40-yard line.
Wayne, with Virginia playing without their top receiver and Billy McMullen, that's almost nullified by the opportunities West Virginia is giving this Virginia offense. With the turnover right there, the field is much shorter for them.
Coming up on 4.5 minutes to go. First half. On 2nd and 10. McGrew in motion. Fake the reverse. Lundy barreling up the middle. Inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. Look to be a gain of about 5 yards, leaving a 3rd down for Matt Schaub and the Virginia Cavaliers.
We talked earlier, Wayne, about the balance that Virginia has in their offense. They've thrown the ball well, and you can see when they decide to run the ball, those linemen come off that line of scrimmage. They're getting right into the faces of that defensive line, and they're starting to create some holes.
Big play for both sides, especially the defense here. Motion from the fullback, Isaiah. Lundy. Very close to the first down inside the 40-yard line. Near the 38, Adam Lenort, the linebacker, made the stop.
West Virginia with 8 men up by the line of scrimmage. Nice job by this Virginia offensive line creating the hole they did for Lundy to even pick up what he got.
Officials have called for the change. They're that close. Rich Rodriguez, he and his team have their work cut out for them, trailing by 11.
He told us that he felt his defensive line had to do a lot of shifting, a lot of moving, a lot of scheming, because the Virginia offense will control the line of scrimmage if his defensive front just sits there.
You're less than a yard away from a first down. If you're Virginia with the momentum of the ball game as it is now, do you go for it?
With the success that they've had running inside today, I would.
Bring up 4th and inches.
4th and inches for Al Crow and company.
I also would go for it with the way your defense has been able to contain Rasheed Marshall.
Right now, the Virginia defense playing very well. Not to mention the offense, which has put a touchdown on the board, and special teams, which has put a punt return touchdown on the board.
If West Virginia gets back into this game offensively, they're going to have to earn what they get. Neither team turns the ball over very much.
Here it is, 4th down. 4th and inches. Lundy following his blocking first down and a whole lot more. Boy, he just took Elton Brown and shoved him ahead of him, and he cleared the way to a first down. Lance Frazier made the tackle.
Nice job coming off the line of scrimmage at the point of attack. And as we said, you got West Virginia kind of guessing. Is it run? Is it pass? What are we going to do? Take a look, though, at the linemen just come off the ball. The backs come up there. They pull the guard around Elton Brown. Huge hole. Well, when you can give your back the time to get his momentum and running downhill, he's awfully hard to stop.
They pitch on the reverse. Michael Johnson with a blocker in front. Gets the corner to the 15 and is out of bounds. King forced him out. 16-yard gain, and it was Heath Miller on the flank of the play who made the block that sprung it loose.
Wayne, I don't know if anybody runs trick plays as well as Virginia. They don't get real anxious because of it, because it's normally what they do. DeBrickashaw Ferguson, what a great block. Not only getting in front of your man, but sustaining it.
And watch this.
Take a look. You got two guys downfield blocking, and there was only one white jersey for a long time. Those are pretty good odds.
Heath Miller made a nice block, allowing his running back to get around the end. Michael Johnson, a true freshman. First down. Virginia threatening again, already leading by 11. Weeks hit in the backfield, and this time going nowhere. Snuffed out beautifully by Ben Collins, the veteran linebacker. Well, we were talking about DeBrickashaw Ferguson. Glee, what do you have on him?
Well, Wayne, he's the first true freshman ever to start the season opener at Virginia. He's listed at 6'5", 265. Coaches say that's a little bit light, but if there's one guy who can handle the assignment, it's Ferguson. You see, he was an honor roll student in high school, an accomplished saxophone player, plus he earned his black belt in karate when he was 15. He's quick, he's smart, the coaches say he's confident, and also he has an 87-inch wingspan.
I mean, you know, Mike, that's my question. An 87-inch wingspan, what does he need the black belt for?
He could be a 747. Schaub on the rollout, well-designed play. Brandon Isaiah, who has replaced the injured Jason Snelling as the backup fullback, made the catch. And they're about 3 yards short of the first down. Coming up at halftime, here's what Chris Fowler has for us.
Wayne, we got highlights of that thrilling Holiday Bowl last night. K-State's come from behind victory. We'll check the standings in the Bowl Challenge Cup. Tonight, the first Big Ten Bowl team involved. And there's a big name out there talking to Kentucky about that vacant head coaching job. Trevor and Marco join me coming up at halftime.
All right, Chris, you've got probably at the edge of my seat on that one. Let's see who that big name is. Third down, about 3 yards to go. McGrew in motion. Weeks hit in the point of attack. Well, I tell you what, good penetration that time, good movement up front. David Upchurch, the War Daddy, made a big tackle right there, denying Virginia a first down. Fourth down coming up for the Cavaliers. The field goal unit coming on now.
Good call to go for the field goal right here. This is the area where Virginia likes to get their tight end involved, choosing this pastime, though, to stay on the ground. Nice stand by this West Virginia defense to hold them short of that first down, and Al Grove choosing to get more points on the board.
Quarterback Matt Schaub will hold for Connor Hughes, the true freshman. 27-yard field goal attempt to extend the lead for UVA. He's got it on its way, and it is no good.
I believe we're going to have West Virginia jumped off sides, though, and I think Virginia now, with that penalty, should give them a first down.
You're right.
It'll be half the distance to the goal from the 9-yard line, though, but that'll push it past the 7. So they're going to get a new set of downs here with 24 seconds to go.
Connor Hughes missed it to the right, but
take a look right here. These guys come over the ball early, and when one jumps, the other one jumps.
Yep.
Clearly off sides. What a big break for Virginia. Mental mistake that you don't see West Virginia make very often.
And Connor Hughes hit the right upright. But the penalty gives Virginia a reprieve here. Boy, Rich Rodriguez is one of those, if it can go wrong, it has gone wrong, especially here in the second quarter.
This is where Virginia likes to get their tight end Heath Miller involved. 9 touchdown catches as a redshirt freshman.
Double tight ends on the line now.
He's lined up right over there.
That's Marcus Weeks in motion. Lundy trying to cut it back. Driving for the goal line. Touchdown! Virginia Cavaliers!
They don't throw it to Miller, but they run right on top of him, and he has really improved as a blocker. West Virginia just had the mental letdown after that stand and the missed field goal. They weren't ready to take that field again as a defensive unit, and that was an easy touchdown run for Virginia.
Jason Davis, senior out of Fort Lauderdale, Florida, shaken up on that play for West Virginia. 4-yard touchdown run by Wally Lundy, his second touchdown of the day. It's Jason Davis, numbers on him, and they continue to work on him. We'll have a status report when we come back. Final 30 seconds, first half in Charlotte. Celebration time for Virginia at the moment. Connor Hughes on the point after. And this time he's got it through the uprights, capping a 48-yard, 10-play drive. Wally Lundy's 4-yard touchdown run gives UVA its biggest lead of the day. Team playing on a surprising 18-point lead. Final 19 seconds, first half. Well, the Mountaineer fans up against it here. Kirk Smith on the kickoff. Not going to allow much of a return, kind of a squib kick. Philip Braxton trying to make something out of it. Across the 30. Braxton gets close to the 40 and in fact across the 40 to the 41-yard line. 9 seconds remaining. Art Thomas made the stop. 29-yard return coming up at the half. Chris Fowler and company. K-State survives last night the Bowl Challenge Cup standings, and the Big Ten of course takes the field tonight. And the coaching carousel, a big name talking to Kentucky, did Chris say.
Boy, there have been some major debacles with some of the coaching changes, and you know, the John L. Smith one going to Michigan State is the most recent.
John L. Smith, and of course the athletic director at Louisville at halftime of that bowl game mentioned that he had given permission to Michigan State to talk to John L. Smith. It was a foregone conclusion from there.
He'd already hired him.
Yeah. Perhaps one final shot at it. Marshall looking to make something happen. Rainbowing. Braxton, the intended receiver, and it's caught by Ottawa. Caught out of bounds on the near sidelines. Marshall completes the pass play. McQuell Henderson, the injured wide receiver who's healthy for this game, steps out of bounds, but I believe time had expired. And West Virginia comes up 4 yards short, much to the protestation of the quarterback Rasheed Marshall.
West Virginia pass complete to number 83,
McQuell Henderson hauled it in. The pass appeared to be intended for Philip Braxton. The half came to a close.
I believe he got tipped by Braxton into Henderson's hands. I think he...
A little celebration as well. But it's been the Cavaliers who have excelled in terms of execution on their unusual or trick plays. Hi, everybody. Wayne Larrabee, Randy Wright, Mike Gleason's down on the sidelines. Randy, Virginia really has kept West Virginia back on its heels with their trick plays, haven't they?
Their trick plays have worked very well, and they knew coming into this game that Virginia was going to be able to do that, but it's really kept them from being aggressive on defense.
All right, second half is coming up, and the kickoff is about to happen right now. Let's see if West Virginia can get back into this one here in Charlotte. West Virginia will receive the opening kickoff. Kurt Smith ready to kick it away. And here's the kickoff. Philip Braxton. Penalty marker down early. May be for a hold across the 25. Braxton out near the 26-yard line to get a penalty marker down. Holding the call against West Virginia. So in comeback mode, not the way to start out of the opening kickoff.
Well, we talked earlier about how much these penalties hurt West Virginia because of the style of offense they run. They need good field position.
Holding on the receiving team. Half the distance to the goal. First down.
The numbers in the first half. Again, West Virginia, one of the leading rushing teams in the country. Number 2 overall, just 106 yards rushing in that first half.
Wayne, very balanced numbers. The score doesn't indicate that because Virginia has had the special teams touchdown and a much shorter field to work with.
Remember, West Virginia averages 287 yards rushing per game. Avon Coburn tries to cut it back toward the middle, breaks a tackle. Across the 25, brought down just short of the 30 near the 28-yard line. Winborn made the stop downfield. It was Andrew Hoffman who missed the tackle at the point of attack.
Nice job by Coburn. When he takes the ball so deep in the backfield, he can see the whole thing develop. Look at that hole open up to the right side. There's the missed tackle there, but one of the advantages to getting the ball deep in the backfield, you see everything develop in front of you.
Opening drive, third quarter. Coburn again. Attitude run right at the defense. Mike Gleason, you had a chance to talk with Rich Rodriguez at halftime. What did he have to say?
Well, Wayne, even though there's only 30 minutes of football left, he said he will not alter the game plan. He feels they have to execute better. But I'll tell you this, he was very upset with the physical play, or lack thereof. He said they're a very physical football team, and he feels that Virginia has not seen his true football team. So I guess we'll see what happens in the next 30 minutes.
An ominous number there on the bottom portion of your screen if you're a West Virginia fan.
And that one reason is because they aren't a real throwing team. It's that much harder to come back when you're down.
Coburn again trying to follow the wall of blockers, had to cut it back, and Rich Bettison makes the tackle at the 36-yard line.
Take a look at some of the key plays in the first half. We've talked about the trickery that Virginia has used today. They've done it very well. The touchdown, West Virginia tried to do it, and they aren't as used to it. They don't execute it. Here, the missed field goal, but West Virginia was offsides. That led to this touchdown right here. Because Virginia is doing such a good job of playing with the trickery, West Virginia has lost all of their aggression, and they're sitting back on their heels.
But I got to ask you, what does Al Groh have left in the trick bag?
Well, I don't know if he needs anything else. What he needs now with a 28-10 lead is just to play solid fundamental football.
Coburn nowhere to go on third down. Rasheed Marshall with a late toss. Blackstock and Robertson. And again, the outside linebackers, Randy, and the cornerbacks on the flank of the defense for Virginia, and Newby, one of the extra defensive backs they bring in passing situations, have been outstanding.
Blackstock and Robertson, as you said, those are the outside backers. They've had a big day. Robertson was an inside backer, got moved to the outside after game 11, and that's been a big help to this defense.
Marcus Higgins had a 69-yard punt return for a touchdown earlier today. Went nowhere there. Adam Jones delivered the hit 42-yard punt. And it'll be first down for the Cavaliers at the 25-yard line of their own territory. Erickson Stadium in beautiful Charlotte, North Carolina. The Continental Tire Bowl, better than 73,000 on hand, and it has been a celebration of college football in the Queen City of the South all week. First down, first possession of the third quarter for the Virginia offense. Quick toss to the flank. Sawyer gets a nice block. Case Luzar out in front of that play, an H-back, if you will, helped to spring that play for the first down. Davis and Frazier collaborate on the stop. First and 10, and Al Groh stopped by to talk with Mike Gleason. Mike, what did he say?
Wayne, he said just take it one play at a time. Don't look up at the scoreboard, even though it's 28-10 right now, and don't try to win the game with big plays, although I'm sure you'll take a few, but he said just keep playing football down by down, and everything should be okay.
You know, Randy Wright said something like that just a moment ago. I wonder if Al Groh got it from Randy.
Oh, great minds think alike, right?
Oh, you're right. You are a great mind. Lundy hammering away up the middle. Well, it's been the Virginia specialty plays, Randy, that have made the difference, keeping West Virginia off balance. The reverses, the reverse action. And, of course, this one right here for the first touchdown of the game. Marcus Higgins. And then you fake the reverse right there and keep it. And you've got the defense. You've got a defense that's basically on its heels, guessing what the offense is going to do. Great execution of the specialty plays.
We've talked about Al Groh and the pro style of offense. With the time between the regular season and a bowl game, he's very good at putting in new things.
Schaub fakes the toss, didn't fool the defense this time. Upchurch flushes him, hits Brandon Isaiah, the fullback, out of the backfield, and he's up across the 40 to the 44-yard line on a gain of 3 yards. Angel Estrada, the safety, made the stop.
One thing that works very much against West Virginia, when you're down 28-10, Virginia may have to help them get back into this game. It may have to come on special teams, because Virginia is not a team that turns the ball over a lot. They were plus 13 in that category. So both these teams do a nice job of not turning it over.
Just 22 turnovers in 13 games this season for the Virginia Cavaliers. Sawyer, bubble screen, first down to the wide receiver. Sawyer, Zach Yarbrough, the center, and the quarterback Matt Schaub are roommates. And they basically hook up on that one. Yarbrough to Schaub to Sawyer for the first. Jamal Adai shaken up. Looked like he has a stinger. And, you know, we've seen some hitting here today. These two teams are really going after each other physically. Ooh, look at that block.
He comes up, and I think you're right. He just was a little out of position when he left his feet to make that tackle and brought Sawyer down, but not a picture-perfect hit by Adai.
Virginia on the move again. Lundy hit in the backfield. James Davis, the outside linebacker, Dirty Davis, made the cleanup play in the backfield.
Nice job by this West Virginia defense shifting over. I think it caught the Virginia offensive line by surprise. These guys are all going to move over this way right as the ball gets ready to be snapped. And then you see Davis just firing right through that gap. And that confusion kept the offensive line from picking him up, and he capitalized on it.
Virginia playing on an 18-point lead early going third quarter.
Well, it's important, like Al Groh said, you don't need to get it all back in one play.
Loss of 4 in the previous play. Schaub looking around, takes it himself. Schaub showing pretty nimble feet. Gets about 5 yards out of that to the 49-yard line. Arthur Harrison finally tracked him down.
That's the kind of quarterbacking decision that Al Groh wants from Matt Schaub. It looked as though he wanted to throw the ball deep, was almost going to force it in there, but at the last minute decided against it, scrambled, picked up 6 yards, but he didn't force the ball into an interception.
3rd and 9. Cavaliers have been awfully good on third downs here today. They came in hitting 40% for the season. Motion from Case Luzar. Blitz on. Schaub dumps it off quickly. Wally Lundy wins the race to the corner and more. Breaks a tackle to the sidelines, to the end zone. Touchdown! And the Cavaliers have blown it wide open.
I mean, all good passing teams are good screen teams. They're good draw teams. And this was a screen executed perfectly by Schaub to let the rush come to him. Then he dumps the ball over to Lundy. Lundy is such a good receiver and a running back after he catches the ball.
Connor Hughes, a line drive, low liner, but over the crossbar for the extra point. The Virginia Cavaliers pick up where they left off in the first half. Wally Lundy, his 3rd touchdown. None better than this, a spin move to get by King. Lundy to the end zone from 48 yards out, and a celebration from the quarterback. In surprising fashion over the nation's 13th ranked team, 35-10. Better than 73,000, 73,535, a stadium record here at Erickson in Charlotte. Kurt Smith getting sent to kick it away for Virginia. He's been busy as a kickoff specialist. Each kick, good leverage and depth into this kick. Smith short of the 20-yard line. Flying to the football. Ottawa Anderson, a wide receiver, moments ago.
Take a look at how well Virginia sets this up. Right here, Grant Wiley's going to come through unblocked. The whole interior here, they're going to let their men come and then drift out in front of Lundy. You don't execute it any better than what these guys do right here. Lundy gets the ball. He's got blockers in front of him. He becomes a running back now and just uses those skills with a little help from some missed tackles downfield. You can't draw up a screen any better than that.
True freshman. Well, at this stage of the season, aren't they at least sophomores by now?
Well, yes, the coach they are, that's for sure.
Marshall looking to make something happen through the air, going deep, intercepted. Armando Curry inside the 10. The Virginia defense turns a big play. 26-yard return. Muffin Curry, the smallest of the Cavaliers.
Rich Rodriguez told us that he didn't want to change what his system was. He just wanted to execute better. Well, when you're behind 35-10, you have to change, and that's not where Rasheed Marshall has his strength. He just throws the ball a little bit high into a massive wave of blue jerseys, and as you said, Armando Curry, the smallest man out there, comes up with a huge play, looking to put the final nail in the coffin here.
Split backs and 1st and goal at the 9. McGrew, the man in motion. Weeks, student body right, got a convoy of blocking, but the Mountaineers rise to the occasion, strung out the play well. Loss of 1 back to the 10-yard line. Adam Lenort led the way.
All coaches put an emphasis on sudden change defense. When something happens and you've got to go out and play defense after a sudden change, how well do we respond? Rich Rodriguez's Mountaineers did not respond after the missed field goal, and they were offsides, gave up an easy touchdown. He can't afford for his defense not to respond right now. They have got to keep Virginia out of the end zone if they want to stay in the game.
2nd and goal from the 11. Brandon Isaiah, sophomore out of Winston-Salem, North Carolina. Brought down by Adam Lenort. Gain of about 3 down to the 8-yard line. 3rd down and goal to go. It would be perhaps a moral victory for the West Virginia defense to force no more than a field goal here.
They need to do something to get the momentum, which is clearly on the Cavaliers side, over to their side. A sack, a turnover, a fumble. They need to create a big play. Again, this is where Virginia likes to go to Heath Miller, their big tight end. He's over there on the right side.
Shovel pass and going nowhere. I want to tell you, Brandon Isaiah was just leveled by Tim Love. A loss of a yard or 2 back to the 9, and the field goal unit comes on.
Well, pretty nice stand here by this Mountaineer defense. A little trick play, the shovel pass, and as you said, Tim Love not surprised at all. He's trying to play both the quarterback and the pitch back, and I'd say he played that very well.
Connor Hughes for a 27-yard field goal attempt. Out of the hold of the quarterback, Matt Shaw. Connor Hughes has it to the uprights. It's good. Tack on another 3 points to the total for UVA. The unranked Cavaliers leading the 13th ranked West Virginia Mountaineers. On the kickoff by Kurt Smith. Into the end zone about a yard deep. Philip Braxton. Right down to the 20-yard line. Boy, there is some tenacious hitting going on to the kicking teams here today. Virginia has a surprising cushion over West Virginia in the 3rd. The fake to Coburn. Rasheed Marshall gets out across the 25. Mike Gleason with a special guest who has a connection to 2 of the key running backs in this game. Mike?
That's right, Wayne. Wally Lundy and Avon Coburn have both played at the same high school, Holy Cross High School, New Jersey. And I found their high school coach, Tom Madeira, and his daughter, TJ. I guess I really expected to talk more about Avon right now, but I guess Wally's the story here, Coach.
Yeah, he's having a good game with 3 touchdowns. And that last touchdown on that screen pass was pretty impressive.
Now, you come here with, you're patronizing which team? I mean, what your allegiance goes to Avon? I mean, Avon 5,000 yards, or Wally just a rookie?
I've got more ties to West Virginia. Kenny Sandor plays for West Virginia on the starting right guard on the offensive line. And I spent 3 years at West Virginia as a graduate assistant. But it's tough. I'm rooting for number 33 as much as I'm rooting for number 28.
You know, the West Virginia coaches said everyone knows about the 5,000 yards rushing, but very few people know about his work ethic. I guess you could add something to that.
He's got a tremendous work ethic. You know, you watch him block for other people. You watch him run pass patterns, even in practice. I mean, he's always there ever since he was in high school. You know, when we'd practice, he'd sprint 40 yards every time in practice. He's just a tremendous kid.
All right, Coach, enjoy the game.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Wayne, let's go back to you.
All right, thank you, Mike. Avon Coburn. Coaches are excited about what he does without the football as much as they are with what he does with the football. Made a good block on the flank of that play, and the gain to Torrey Johnson on the pass play. Angelo Crowell, the linebacker, made the stop near the 40-yard line, gain of 5.
Take a look at Coburn. Not real big, but boy, is he a complete player. Such an unselfish player. He runs great routes, and I think that will help him at the next level. He's got good hands, good routes, picks up blitzes in the passing game. And Wayne, I got to think a high school coach has to be pretty successful. You have backs like Lundy and Coburn running for you.
Bubble screen. Derek Smith has to make a couple of men miss and gets close to the first down. Boy, that was a resourceful little spin move he made there to get close. 2 plays ago, Coburn delivers a block right there on the flank of the play.
Well, he's such an unselfish player, and whenever you have a new coach come in like Rich Rodriguez did last year, you need to find the key players in the system that can buy into what you're talking and teaching and help everybody else buy into it, and Avon Coburn is one of those guys.
3rd and a little bit less than 2. Coburn's got the first down, looking for more. Yanked down inside Cavalier territory near the 48-yard line. Capital One Bowl week continues tonight on ESPN. 8 Eastern, 2 of the top running backs in the nation lead their teams. It's Chris Brown of the Colorado Buffaloes, Anthony Davis of the Wisconsin Badgers at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. For more information, log on to ESPN.com.
A coaching rivalry there. Gary Barnett at Colorado now used to be at Northwestern, and he and Alvarez had some massive duels when he was in the Big Ten.
Quincy Wilson gets the call on a counter move to the right side. Picks up about 7 yards. Armando Muffin Curry made the stop, along with, again, you take a look at the way that Virginia rallies to the ball. You can tell they're a team playing with some momentum, although West Virginia starting to crank in a nice drive here.
Well, you can afford to fly around and take some chances when you're up 38-10. Now, you don't have to, but you play with a lot less sense of urgency.
2nd down. Marshall on the keeper. Got the first down to the 34-yard line of Virginia, but the defense for the Cavaliers has been very good here today.
They've been outstanding. They've really shut down Rasheed Marshall, and West Virginia has had to try and go to some other things that really is not in their system, but whether it's been Coburn or Marshall or the passing game, nothing has really worked or gone right for West Virginia.
Armando Curry with the interception to set up a field goal. Running hard, Wilson. Quincy Wilson, the son of the former Chicago Bears middle linebacking great Otis Wilson, whom we had an opportunity to talk to last night. He sacked you a time or two over the course of the 80s, didn't
he? We were watching practice, and he came over, and I said I had to lay down on my back so I could recognize him, because that's where I saw him most of the time.
While Randy was a quarterback with the Green Bay Packers, and Otis Wilson, an all-pro linebacker from the Super Bowl champion 85 Bears. 2nd down here. Marshall, is he changing the play here, Randy, or just calling the protection?
Probably calling direction.
Rasheed Marshall looked like almost a busted play there, though they do fake that handoff, and then the quarterback keeps it. He got about a yard down to the 31-yard line. Randy, you would think that, again, the big gun here, Avon Coburn, but as we looked at this and as we've talked at halftime, the quarterback is going to have to step up and make the difference for West Virginia in this circumstance here where they're down by such a large margin.
And he's going to have to do it through the passing game. He's very dangerous with his legs, but he's going to have to make some big plays through the air for West Virginia to get back in this game. He can't do it all with his feet.
Inside of 2 minutes and 10 seconds, 3rd quarter. 3rd down, West Virginia. Blitz coming, Armando Curry. Nice release over the middle. Braxton shakes one defender. Hit inside the 5, wrapped up near the 3-yard line. Jermaine Hardy made the stop, 28-yard pass play, and boy, did they need that.
Well, we just talked about making some big plays in the passing game. Braxton has been the guy that Marshall has felt most comfortable with Henderson being hurt. Take a look at the time he has in the cushion Braxton has with Willie Davis playing off of him by 5 or 6 yards. Man-to-man coverage, you missed the tackle. It's going to be a big play.
But they're going into the Cavalier end, the Cavalier fans on this side of the stadium. Well, it's going to be hard for the linemen to hear the signals on the floor of the stadium now. Marshall calling the play of the line. He's got a slot at the top of the screen. A handoff up the middle, and just one of those attitude runs, driving forward. Not a whole lot there, boy. Virginia came in with a suspect run defense. Quincy Wilson burrowed his way down to the 1, but no farther.
Talk about it being suspect, giving up over 200 yards a game. Each one of these running plays that doesn't get into the end zone takes another 30 to 40 seconds off the clock.
My point being, Virginia's been much better against the run than we expected here today. Wilson, the single back, but it's the quarterback who takes the snap. Penalty markers are down. Usually it's for a false start by the offense in this circumstance. And if that's the case, boy, that would hurt.
Offside on the defense. That penalty is refused. They'll take the result of the play. Touchdown.
It is a touchdown. Offsides on Virginia. West Virginia reaches the end zone.
We didn't see anybody jump, so take a look right there. If that's where they're going to call as the offsides, could be this one right there. Either way, they were lined up offsides. Nobody jumped.
How can you tell he made it over the goal line under the mass of humanity? Extra point attempt is blocked. And recovered, I believe, by Virginia, but the blocked extra point leaves the score 38-16. Rasheed Marshall marshaled his team on an 80-yard 13. General has been outstanding here today, Matt Shaw.
Boy, what a gentleman he was to talk to yesterday. Really has a level head on his shoulders and pretty quick feet that he uses right here. Not known as a runner, but boy, he's bought time and he just throws the ball so well. Great touch and a little better arm strength than I thought he had coming into this game. I've been very impressed with him.
Todd James booting it away. Twin safeties back deep for Virginia. And this one hooking out of play. So the penalty marker down. The 13th ranked team in the nation is down 38-16. Now we saw a nice comeback by Kansas State last night to win a bowl game, the 6th ranked team in the nation. But they weren't down by 38-16 in the second half.
They weren't down like this, and I think coming back takes two parts. Number one, your offense has to score, and your defense has to stop them, and West Virginia has struggled in that area.
And I would say when you're a running team, as Rich Rodriguez has here, he needs his defense not just to stop Virginia, but to take the ball away.
They need to stop them quickly. Taking the ball away is going to be a little more difficult because, as we mentioned, Virginia doesn't turn it over a lot. They need to stop them with 3 and outs. They can't afford to stop them if Virginia can pick up 3, 4, 5 first downs, because that's going to take too much time off the clock.
West Virginia 34 turnovers this season. Schaub, Ryan Sawyer got a first down out to the 48-yard line. Continental Tire Bowl, the first annual 13th ranked West Virginia against Virginia. Wayne Larrabee, Randy Wright, Mike Gleason. Erickson Stadium in Charlotte, North Carolina. A stadium record better than 73,535 on hand.
And you look at this, it's UVA that's got 20,000 people. Boy, they sound like they've got 60 right now.
Well, you know, they've also got 38 points on the board. That supplements that sound you're hearing. Schaub, good protection. Late over the middle, but right between the 8 and the 9 on tight end Heath Miller's jersey. James Davis arrived on the scene. Inside West Virginia territory to the 46 on a gain of about 6 yards.
Wayne, this is vintage Al Groh offense. You're ahead. You don't sit on it. You don't play conservative. You keep throwing the ball.
Virginia Cavaliers enjoy a 38-16 advantage, much to the delight of the 20,000 plus from Charlottesville. Fourth quarter coming up. To match the excitement that this one has generated in the Queen City of the South, Charlotte, North Carolina. Wally Lundy, how much does Al Groh have left in the trick bag? He's got at least one more reverse for a first down, and Lundy, the freshman, has been outstanding here today. Picks it up near the 41-yard line. Collins and Frazier on the stop. So West Virginia fans hanging in there with their Mountaineers. Oh, they were coming early. We got over here real early this morning, Randy, and they were lined up to get in here.
Boy, it's so nice because the stadium is so close to downtown. Several people walking over along the way and enjoying the beautiful weather, and it's just been a great atmosphere. I'm sure they'll enjoy the rest of the weekend after the game as well.
They'll enjoy it more if the Mountaineers come back, but I don't think they're going to be allowed to. Wally Lundy following his blocking beautifully. Down the sidelines inside the 20. Near the 17-yard line of West Virginia. 24-yard gash. Lance Frazier made the stop.
Nice job of creating this hole. An excellent cut by Lundy. Designed to go up the middle, cuts to the outside, and untouched until well into the secondary. You really have to respect what this Virginia offense is doing. It starts with their head coach. They're not sitting back. They're continuing to play aggressive football, and it's paying off.
Opening minute, fourth quarter. UVA, since grabbing the momentum of this game midway through the first quarter, has been playing on an edge. Beautiful play fake. Shaw getting blitzed by Angel Estrada, throws it away. And Schaub again showing good maturity, Randy, when he's been flushed at times today, when the receivers aren't open downfield. He gets out of the tackle box. He gets rid of the football.
Well, you can see why he's only thrown 7 interceptions all year. He doesn't force things in there. He's got a very accurate arm, a level head on his shoulders. When the play action fake did not hold the defense, that's usually a one-man route. When that wasn't open, he just throws the ball away.
2nd and 10 at the West Virginia 17. Shaw flush steps up himself and is brought down near the 15-yard line, gain of a couple of yards. West Virginia changing things up a little bit, bringing pressure from different areas, Randy.
Trying to be a little more aggressive. Whenever an offense has a drive and has moved the ball like Virginia has, you can't sit back in a vanilla defense and let them keep doing that. It's up to you to start making the adjustments, and most often that means bringing pressure.
Patrick Estes comes in at tight end. They've been running a lot of 2 tight end sets on the offensive line.
Those 2 tight ends have combined for 12 touchdown receptions between them.
Case Luzard, the man in motion. Shaw sets up a screen. Wally Lundy gets up 1 block and then is ridden down from behind short of the 10-yard line. Ernest Hunter, defensive tackle, in for Jason Davis, made the stop, and it's 4th down.
Well, again, this West Virginia defense has kept the Cavaliers out of the end zone, but take a look, 12:48 and counting down. West Virginia's taken some valuable time, or excuse me, Virginia's taken the time off the clock that West Virginia really can't afford to let them do.
No question. Time a huge factor, and again, the point is, a team whose primary modus operandi is running the football is in a real tough spot. Al Groh mentioned to us, he said he felt one of the keys for Virginia today would have to be, we've got to play on the lead. We can't let them play on the lead.
I think even he was surprised how big a lead they had, how early, and how that came about.
Connor Hughes has it through the uprights. 30-yard field goal to extend the margin to 41-16 Virginia. The Cavaliers keep rolling through Charlotte on a beautiful sun-splashed afternoon. Waving their paraphernalia here today. Their Cavaliers play on a hefty lead over the 13th ranked team in the nation. Kurt Smith kicking it away. West Virginia needs a number of big plays to even get back into this one. Smith. Derek Smith across the 15, and the coverage units have been very sound for Virginia here today as well. Alex Seals, perhaps the best of the coverage unit for West Virginia. Monday, Capital One Bowl week continues with 2 games on ESPN. The day begins with College Game Day Bowl Special presented by Outback at 1:30 Eastern. 2 Eastern, the SEC West champion Arkansas Razorbacks take on the Minnesota Golden Gophers in the Gaylord Hotels Music City Bowl. 5:30 Eastern. It's the Wake Forest Demon Deacons defense looking to stop Ontario Smith and a tough Oregon offense in the 2nd annual Seattle Bowl. First down, football just short of the 20-yard line for the Mountaineers of West Virginia. Avon Coburn followed his blocking pretty well, but again the Cavaliers had the boundary side snuffed out pretty well. Gain of about 5 yards, maybe 6. Hoffman and Schmidt from the defensive line collaborate on the stop.
Wayne, you can see what Virginia is doing defensively. They're not really penetrating across the line of scrimmage. They're just tying up those blockers and playing a lateral east and west game, not wanting to give up the creases and the big hits.
Especially when you're a lineman in a 3-4 defense, all you want to do is occupy blockers. Let the linebackers flow to the ball. Derek Smith spin move, gets by Blackstock, but then he is buried on the play. Almondo Curry. But it's a first down. What a hit by Curry, however.
Good thought process. Get the ball to a wide receiver on the outside, try to get him into a one-on-one, and then break a tackle and make a big play. Smith could not do that out here, as you said. Just an excellent open field tackle by Curry.
First down, football just short of the 31. Coburn, and they reverse it. Aaron Neal. Good speed, and he stumbles across the 50 into Virginia territory to the 47-yard line. Shenard Newby on the undercut move made the tackle, 22-yard gain.
Nice job of Neal taking the reverse, following his blockers, and then weaving his way through the blue jerseys. And that was a big gain. And remember, in the college game, when you make a first down, the clock stops, so they're conserving a little time with the bigger the play they get.
Marshall has called his own number. Hurdles one defender, but is forced out of bounds. And again, we continue to see the flow by the Virginia defense. And Randy, we talked a little bit about Darrell Blackstock earlier and how his job is to run upfield and get the quarterback. What we've seen today is he's played a little wider, perhaps, and not going directly on a slanted line to the quarterback. He's a little wider in his pursuit today.
Well, if you widen out like that, the angle is too big for the lineman to block you. So really what you've done is you've forced the backs to cut upfield.
Bubble screen. Monquel Henderson almost had a touchdown at the end of the first half. This one gets down to the 25 of Virginia. Jerton Evans on the stop, 20 yards the gain.
Henderson has been bothered by an ankle and a knee injury, missed the last 2 games, but came back and is healthy now. He is the leading receiver for this team, but they're doing a nice job now of getting the wide receivers involved in this offense.
Coburn, little stop and go, dives down to the 20-yard line, pick up a 5. Resourceful run by Avon Coburn.
Well, you saw a good example there of this Virginia defense with the respect they have for the West Virginia speed. They're just playing outside, forcing these guys to the inside and letting the flow catch up to them. They've played a very disciplined game defensively.
2 tight ends on the line. Second down and 5. Marshall fake to Coburn. Makes it straight ahead again. Design play for the quarterback. This time getting 2, maybe 3 yards at the most. Crowell and Bettison, 2 inside linebackers responding for UVA. Angelo Crowell, his older brother Jermaine, an outstanding receiver at Virginia, and now a standout receiver for the Detroit Lions of the NFL.
Well, Angelo Crowell told us he had so much respect for Al Groh when he took over this program because he knew he coached in the NFL. He knew what he was talking about, and it gave him that instant credibility.
They reverse. Braxton picking his way to the 15, and it appears he's got the first down. Jerton Evans makes the tackle. Now that's a gain of about 3, maybe 4 yards. When you do all that reverse action, you expect more, don't you?
Well, what really happens though is Blackstock comes up and he avoids the block, but he still forces Braxton to come to the inside. So Blackstock didn't get the tackle, but he really did a nice job on the play.
He really blew up the play. And again, he got wider than wide essentially on that play as far as the linebacker is concerned.
And as you said, if you're only picking up a couple yards on a reverse, you expect to get more than that.
Avon Coburn, they try to open it up the middle, but not that time. Brian White made the stop in the linebacking core for West Virginia.
And with each one of these running plays that the Mountaineers are running, you see that clock continuing to tick down under 9 minutes now.
Beg your pardon, Brian White for Virginia made the stop. Second down. Marshall looking to the end zone. Off the hands of his intended receiver. And that was the tight end, Josh Bailey. And a well-designed play. And Rich Rodriguez, his kids just haven't been able to get it done.
Well, nice job. Bailey's right here. He's going to fake down as Marshall comes back, and as he comes out, he's going to wind up over here, and he's really open, and Marshall just misses an opportunity here. I think Bailey could have got that ball into the end zone. It was a well-designed play. You just have to hit that receiver when he's that open.
Marshall hit in the backfield, thrown down. Penalty marker down on the play. Andrew Hoffman would have none of the quarterback draw of Rasheed Marshall.
There's a penalty marker on the field.
Face mask against Virginia. That will nullify the first sack of the day. First true sack.
Face mask on the defense. 5 yards from the previous stop.
Take a look at the face mask here as Marshall runs up. It was Huffman that came in. There's the face mask. Clearly has it with his right hand. Lets go of it quickly, but a good call by the official. That's kind of tough to see. Good job by the official seeing that, throwing the flag. Sometimes you get a back like Marshall who's so quick and moves so fast that you don't think you're going to grab him by the face mask. You're not trying to, and all of a sudden his head's just there.
3rd and inches. 37 yards on 9 carries for Rasheed Marshall.
Neither one of those two are very impressive. Only 9 carries.
Coburn looking for the end zone and not finding it. Coburn got about 3 yards, however, and enough for the first down. Jerton Evans made the stop, so this drive continues for West Virginia. But again, the Mountaineers are down 41-16. We have a little over 8 minutes to go in the game.
Wayne Algrove told us yesterday that if after the game West Virginia is happy with the play of Rasheed Marshall, they didn't do a good job. He would much rather than be happy with their tailback play, not the quarterback play. Marshall with 9 carries, 37 yards. They're not very happy with his play.
Hoffman and Crowell deny Coburn the end zone there.
Take a look here. There's really no place for Coburn to go. Good pursuit and some solid hard hitting going on down there. Even though they're ahead 41-16, they're not playing easy at all.
2nd down and goal to go. Rasheed Marshall changing the call. Coburn to the end zone, touchdown.
Touchdown, West Virginia.
Avon Coburn reaches the end zone.
They ought to go for 2 here, Wayne. Try and get this to a 41-24 game. That 17-point differential would mean just 2 touchdowns and a potential field goal.
I would anticipate that's what they'll do. And Marshall's going to stay on the field with the offense. But again, what we were talking about earlier, you come out and you're trailing at the start of the 2nd half by a hefty margin. It's 28-10. You're a running team. That's what you do best. Rich Rodriguez said, we've never run this system. We've never run in this system more than we had this year. It's a tough road to go, even though they put a couple of touchdowns on the board here in the 2nd half. Virginia wants a timeout. Slot to the top of your screen. Single receiver to the bottom. That's Nastasi at the bottom. They fake the run. Marshall, he's got 2 blockers in front of him, but he doesn't have the angle to the end zone. Outstanding play by Brennan Schmidt, the redshirt freshman from Arlington, Virginia. Denying West Virginia the 2-point conversion.
Wayne, I think West Virginia here is they tried to trick Virginia, run to the outside, but yet run pass option. You see the tight end Johnson, who was open, but Marshall really not looking into the end zone at all.
Braxton was open on the back line of the end zone as well.
You have to make such quick decisions down there. The window of opportunity closes very quickly. Now I think West Virginia's got to start thinking onside kick. They're down by 19 points. They got to get the ball back. They can't afford to give it back to Virginia's offense. You have to take some big chances here.
And again, when you're behind like this, Randy, and you're a running team like West Virginia, 2nd best running team in the nation, you have to come out of your character, basically, to get back into this game. You have to become a passing team.
It's a lot harder for a running team to become a passing team than it is for a passing team to start running the ball. I think Virginia here is expecting the onside kick as they have 10 players up within 7 yards of where the line to gain would be, which is the 45-yard line there.
And a leaping grab is made by Shenard Newby, a veteran safety, senior of Dendron, Virginia. ESPN game track. Let's take a look at it. Wally Lundy, third touchdown of the day. This one off a pass reception. Beautiful spin move. 48 yards for the score. And the Virginia defense has played so well today, forcing 2 West Virginia turnovers, including that one by Armando Curry that set up a field goal.
Right, 10 points off of the turnovers. That doesn't count the Hagen's punt return for the touchdown also. So 17 points really have been the difference right here, especially when that punt return came.
The punt return basically turned the game around in the second quarter. It was a seesaw affair up until then. Wally Lundy running like a senior, true freshman. Capital One Bowl week continues tonight on ESPN at 8 Eastern. 2 of the top running backs of the nation lead their teams in the 10th annual Alamo Bowl, presented by MasterCard. Chris Brown and the 14th ranked Colorado Buffaloes beat Anthony Davis and the Wisconsin Badgers at the Alamo Dome in San Antonio, Texas. It's Chris Brown, one of the outstanding backs. Missed the last couple of games of the season, but is healthy for this one. It'll be great to see him in there. He finished, what, second to Larry Johnson of the Heisman, or he was one of the finalists. Or not in the Heisman, but in the Doak Walker Award. Quick move up the middle, not enough for the first down here.
Back to Chris Brown. He's only a junior also, and if he had not been hurt and had been able to play a complete season, I'm sure he would have been a little higher in that Heisman race.
They're giving a workout to Wally Lundy.
Cavaliers, 3rd down, 2 to go.
And he has paid off for Al Groh and company. 89 yards on 19 carries.
Well, I have really been impressed with his maturity. This kid is a true freshman, but he's got a great presence on the field.
Speaking of maturity, Billy McMullen, one of the leaders of this football team, all ACC wide receiver, went down early in this ball game with an elbow injury, has not returned. And Lundy gets the first down as they continue to shred the West Virginia front.
Wayne, you take a look at McMullen. Look at that, guys. 210 receptions in his career. He came into the game with 209, needing 8 to set the all-time record, and got hurt on that first one, and he will fall short of that. That's too bad, but boy, what a leader he's been for this team.
He's a senior, and Al Groh says he'll be one of those guys. You'll see, he'll make the next level, and he'll be around for a long time, because he's a guy you can take to the game on Sunday. In other words, he'll play special teams for you. He'll block downfield for you, that kind of thing.
He can do a lot more until he develops into a starting wide receiver. He can help you in many ways.
Time wound down on the play clock. I believe West Virginia got a timeout called.
Nope. Game on the offense.
They did not.
Thought
they were going to get timeout called. They did not.
You know, that's a great point Al Groh was telling us. He's a guy you could take to the game. You say, well, what do you mean by that? He goes, well, in the NFL, you have 53 on your roster, but you have inactives. You can only dress 45. He's a guy you could take to the game. He's a guy that you could bring. You've got a list of inactives. He's a guy, when you sit in that conference room, you're taking him.
First penalty against Virginia. A delay of game, 1st and 15 now. McGrew, the man in motion. Lundy again, and why not? Gain of 2 down to the 40-yard line. Well, Charlotte native is on the injured list, but is a prominent man in Virginia plans, and that's the defensive end Chris Canty. For more on that, let's get down to Mike Gleason. Mike?
That's right, Wayne. He played at Charlotte Latin. He focused on basketball until his junior year. His dad didn't let him hit the weight room until after high school. He used to tell him that Herschel Walker used to do a lot of sit-ups and push-ups, and that should be good enough for him. He arrived at Virginia at 6'7", 236. Last year he played at 265. Now he's up to 290. Only a sophomore. That's the most tackles. 8 tackles a game. That's the most in the ACC for defensive linemen. Mike London, the defensive line coach, says Canty has as much long-term promise as any player on this Virginia roster.
He sure does, and they're very high on Chris Canty. And of course, he's disappointed he wasn't able to play here at his hometown of Charlotte, North Carolina. Economics major, 6'7", 290. I would say he's got NFL size, doesn't he?
That's Simeon Rice kind of size. That is big.
Yeah, he's going to be something else. And is pretty good right now. Second team all ACC, as Mike mentioned. 3rd down coming up here for Virginia. I've been really impressed with the quarterback, Matt Schaub. Not just his decision-making in his arm, but he also has shown better feet than he led us to believe.
He's a smart runner. He knows when to run, and he knows when he can try and get the big play and when he needs to just get down after picking up a first down.
Lundy for his 4th touchdown of the game. 31 yards.
This offensive line for Virginia has just had an outstanding day. As you see, Lundy with his 4th touchdown, 2 through the air. That is 2nd one on the ground. This offensive line, though, very young. 3 freshmen playing in that line, a couple of sophomores. Their 1 senior, Mike Mullins, is not playing today, and they have controlled the line of scrimmage all game.
Yeah, they put in Brad Butler, a true freshman, to fill Mullins' spot at right tackle. The extra point is good by Connor Hughes. Oh, yes, a pat on the back from the head coach, Al Groh. Wally Lundy. Look out, Virginia. The next great running back in Cavalier history has arrived, and he's Wally Lundy. 31 yards to score. The streams couldn't imagine his team maturing the way it did this season.
I think he has done a wonderful job of bringing them along, kept the expectations low early, but with success came more expectations, and he's really helped them develop and mature.
Well, Derek Smith returns that kickoff, and the Mountaineer offense back on the field. It's been a great week here in Charlotte, and these teams have enjoyed it Thursday at the Lowe's Motor Speedway just up the road in Concord, North Carolina. The 2 teams had a chance to spend some time at the Richard Petty driving experience. The highlight of the day was the tire changing competition between head coaches Al Groh and Rich Rodriguez. With a visit to the Speedway, just one of many events that has made the Continental Tire Bowl a huge success, certainly for the fans, but also for these 2 teams who had a great time.
I don't know if either one of those guys have ever changed a tire on their own car.
Well, I don't know. Well, Rich Rodriguez was a walk-on of West Virginia. He might have. Quincy Wilson on the carry. Brian White on the tackle. Take a look at this bio on Rich Rodriguez. Came to this school, to West Virginia, as a walk-on defensive back and made himself into a player. 54 career tackles, 3 bowl appearances. Rich Rodriguez doing an outstanding job. His team turning around from 3-9 last year to 9-3 this year.
And Wayne, what's so important for both of these programs is neither one of them went to a bowl last year. To go to the bowl now, you get all those extra practices between the end of the season and when you go to your bowl. And for a program like Rich Rodriguez and West Virginia, they need those extra practices. They're so young that their players get so much better. Al Groh, the same thing. He's been able to take advantage of all that tremendously young talent he's got and develop them along.
Well, they had a recruiting class last February, Randy, that was ranked consensus top 5 in the country. Many had that class ranked at number 2, and Al said we knew we were going to have to play some of those kids. We couldn't redshirt them all.
Well, what was interesting to follow up on that point is Angelo Crowell, their all-everything linebacker, said that when Al Groh would talk to his team and told the team, hey, these kids can play. These are young freshmen. They're talented. They can play. Angelo Crowell would say, you know what, we believed him because we know this guy knows talent. He's been in the NFL. They think he's all of a sudden an NFL god because what he says means so much to them, and they really bought into that system, and he was right. These young kids can play very well.
He's been a part of Super Bowl championship staffs under Bill Parcells. Quincy Wilson, part of the future for West Virginia, trying to escape to the outside, and again Virginia just playing so well. Winborn made the stop of the play. Well, we mentioned Al Groh going to the biggest bowl of them all. A number of times he was a Super Bowl coach here with the Patriots under Bill Parcells in Super Bowl 31 against the Green Bay Packers. He also was part of a couple of Super Bowl winners while coaching linebackers with the New York Giants. That's the kind of credibility that makes sense. And he was wearing one of his Super Bowl rings in our meeting yesterday. Danny Embick at quarterback now for West Virginia. Embick, a redshirt freshman out of Jupiter, Florida, on this drive. Time winding down to the inaugural Continental Tire Bowl, and while the West Virginia Mountaineers have struggled in the game here today, overall this has been one of the most successful starts to a bowl in the history of the season, the history of college football. Embick looking downfield. Got a man open, and the ball tipped away nicely by Winborn. You know, these defenses, they're like sharks with blood in the water. You know, they don't want to give up anything, even though they're playing at a big lead.
Well, so many times, especially with the score now 48-22, you have your backup players in there on both sides of the ball, and the defensive players that are the backups, they're trying just as hard as the starters. What do you think is going to happen here? Now, this is a true sign of the NFL experience and the Bill Parcells of the 1980s.
Yeah, Al Gross should not have been surprised by that. He had to know it was coming. Danny Embick on the roll. A little pump fake. Has to take it himself. He's a quick quarterback out of bounds. 46 seconds to go. What an impressive performance by this young Virginia squad. Al Gross toweling himself out. One of the youngest teams in the country. 14 true freshmen have seen action this season for Virginia. 43 freshmen overall. 29 individuals are playing in their first year of college ball for Virginia.
Well, what a pleasure to talk to yesterday also. They were very excited to be here. The teams, the players that we talked to had a great week down here, and without having gone to a bowl last year, you missed that. Now you get a chance to go to one that you really didn't know anything about, this being the first year, and I don't think any of them had any idea how much they would enjoy it before the game.
We should see the victory formation, and we have. And dropping down a quarterback to run the clock. David DeLoreal, a backup third-string quarterback. Capital One player of the game, Wally Lundy. What a job he did. All-purpose 201 yards of total offense and 4 touchdowns. A true freshman.
Well, and that almost could be a problem in itself. Where does this kid go from here?
Yeah.